Hello, my name is Dr. Michael Joyner. I'm a hand surgeon in Delray Beach, Florida, and also the president of a company that I started called Condition Sports Management. I'm doing a presentation on behalf of the St. Thomas University Sports Management MBA program under the course of Sports Psychology with Dr. Robert Epling. What I'm going to focus on today is psychological skills training for the elite athletes during times of stress. The Condition Sports Management, we set up individualized psychological skills training programs. And what this is designed to do is designed to maintain, enhance, and improve elite athletic performance during time periods of increased stress. Now let's talk about, what is PST? What is psychological skill training? What it is a systematic and consistent practice of mental or psychological skills for the purpose of enhancing performance. It's very important. Increasing enjoyment and or achieving greater sport and physical activity for self-satisfaction. Now, why is this so important? Listen, as athletes, many of us may go through moments of mental letdowns or mistakes. Yet, what this training is all about is mental toughness. Now, what is mental toughness? It's ability to cope with pressure, determination to persist in the face of adversity, and mental resilience. Now, there are some key psychological factors that also account for fluctuations in performance. Imagine a person going through extreme stressors. Are they going to do as well during their event or not? A lot depends on their psyche at the time of the event. Now, the psychological skills training, unfortunately, is often neglected by many of your coaches, as well as participants or other athletes. Now, why is this? Sometimes lack of knowledge, misunderstanding about psychological skills, and sometimes even just a lack of time. Yet, we want to focus on a unique approach. The skills training is an educational approach to mental training. So I like to say, while compartmentalizing outside obstacles that could easily disrupt your performance, because that's what we're focusing on, performance. And when we say elite athletes, I like to comment on this because it's not just for the elite. PST is not only for the elite, but it also is appropriate for all athletes who consider themselves as elite as well. What do I define? I like to share this with you because I define the elite athlete as a person who is currently or has previously competed as a varsity player, individual or team, a professional player, or a national or international level player. So what does that mean? Even a high school athlete can be considered elite. I also like to say, if you're outside of the sports arena, I always think at any age you can become an elite athlete. So that's important as well. Now let me tell you this. Stress, what is it? Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. We go through it. There are going to be moments during an athlete's career that you're going to go through stress. Some examples. We're going through a COVID-19 pandemic. High school athletes. Imagine being that senior athlete who's trying to have an excellent senior year and performance in order to get that collegiate scholarship. That could be stressful. College athletes, the finances of college, decisions of when to turn pro if you're going that direction. And of course, a student athlete, you're balancing academic and athletic requirements. You have midterms, you have finals. These are all stressors that can play a part in an athlete's performance. Amateur athletes. Now, we talk about many nowadays athletes are trying to make decisions, whether even jumping from high school to college or going straight to the pros, and sometimes they'll go overseas. Now, that's an entire different stressor. The language barrier or cultural challenges could be stressors for many athletes. And also, this is one of the things that even highlighted this talk and developing this program is that professional athletes, imagine what some of them are going through with family life, marriage, divorce, injury, and even contract disputes. Think about this. Michael Jordan, 168 million. Greg Norman, the former pro golf athlete, 104 million. Tiger Woods, 100 million. Michael Strahan, who played with the NFL, 15 million, $18,000 a month. What was this all about? These were divorce settlements. Highly publicized at that. Can you imagine the stressors that they go through during periods of times like that? Listen, motivation, perseverance, and concentration could easily be disrupted when dealing with off-the-field toxic situations. Now, professionally, this could be along with possibilities of losing large amounts of earnings, especially when a long-term contract's not in place, or whether it's in high school or college and you are dealing with a toxic situation or even a broken relationship. And then you have an event or a competition coming up. How do these stressors impact you? Now, again, I'm a hand surgeon, Delray Beach, Florida, and there was a survey taken with sports medicine physicians regarding psychological issues in patient athletes. So this survey, basically, the whole purpose was to determine the extent to which sports medicine physicians encounter and discuss psychological issues. And this is among athletes. So what came out of it? Well, basically that physicians frequently encounter psychological issue with patient athletes. I see this often too. Can you imagine injuring your thumb and you're a quarterback and now the season is disrupted? Now, what came out of this is there's a need for tools to facilitate assessment of these problems. And this is what we're all about. And this is what this talk is all about. The strategies and methods to enhance performance during these periods of stress. How do you do that? Well, first of all, these skills, I feel, have to be learned and developed and practiced. What do? Goal setting, very important. You got to get the small things done. Applications, whether you're in college, high school, budgeting, whether you're a professional, or the simple list of things to do while focusing still on your mind, body, and spirit. Journal, discussion. You're not alone. These stressors can be devastating. But sometimes if you just write this down, and then I feel this is very important, to you to proclaim your commitment as well as building your self-confidence as you go through this journey despite the stress. Escape mechanisms. Highly important. I think, too, training outside of the sport. You may have a hobby, music, dance, chess, puzzles, arts, even pets. There's meditation, relaxation techniques, and mental imagery. One relaxation technique, it was described by this one elite tennis player. His father was a neuroscientist. And he basically taught him how to take certain deep breaths before he did his serve. This is an example of a relaxation technique. And in this case, is used during the sport, during the activity. Can you imagine using this while going through a period of stress? This can assist because we're all about elite performance. And this is what the program's set up for. And it's individualized per person, per athlete. And of course, we could summarize all this with different mechanisms of coping with stress, emotion-focused coping, problem focused coping, avoidance coping. All these are attacked through this method and these techniques. So what is that all about? So listen, by following a psychological skills training program, relaxation techniques, journals, focus, you as an elite athlete will enhance and strengthen your psychological skills. This is especially important during periods of stress because you're going to go through it. Different moments during different aspects of your career, whether in high school, college, professionally, or even post your profession. And this is what got me into starting Condition Sports Management and highlighting this information and bringing it out in the sports psychology class. We individualize this PST program. These psychological skills training are for the elite athlete. And again, every athlete is different. Our sources, these are highlighted. And overall, I just have to say thank you. Get in touch with us. Let's develop your personal psychological skills training program. And let's become that elite athlete despite the stressors you encounter. Thank you very much.